Good evening, Fernwood. It is your responsible reactor, Neil, here, and it's time for us to get real with another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. We are watching episode 242 today from March 8th, 1977. Yesterday seemed to set the ground floor for the week, so why don't we find out where we're starting? At the factory, Tom and Charlie share their secret keys with Tex, though they are completely unaware that the GGG is a white supremacist organization. George comes into the break room and teases them a bit about whatever's going on, though he does seem to want to get in on the action. Vernon comes in to greet the two new members, and when Tom asks if George can join, he makes some excuses for why the club is so exclusive. Of course, in private to Tex, Vernon says that he is only playing George so that he'll want to join the group even more. Back at the Shumway residence, Mary has called a family meeting to explain that Martha is a kleptomaniac and using that as a coping mechanism. The family don't understand what that means until Kathy pours out a bag of their stolen items. Then Kathy questions who will break the news to George, and it goes around the room and seems to land on Mary. At Howie and Kathy's apartment, Howie is sleepwalking and packing his suitcase, and Kathy is getting really worried about it. She calls Martha for advice. Martha is at her new job at the Capri Lounge, and Martha reminds her not to wake up a sleepwalker because they may die. Kathy gently leads Howie to the couch and gets him to relax, and when he wakes up, he says that he's really stressed out because he's nowhere near this mysterious group, the TTT, who we know now as the GGG. And Kathy tenderly massages him while also wondering who he dreamt of being in love with. And then finally at the Jeter residence, cleaning woman Lila has been pushing her weight around, asking for there to be no autopsy on the police chief who died mysteriously at the Jeter residence last week. Merle gets fed up with this and says that he is going to fire Lila when Wanda reveals that Lila has stolen her diary and can use it to ruin their careers. And Lila brings in the phone, and the mayor calls the coroner, and it seems like Lila is getting exactly what she wants. And everyone, I cannot wait to see what happens this episode. Why don't we get started?
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
Woo! That's some wad you got there, Mr. Bales.
This wad, as you call it, is all GGG money.
Well, I've been wondering, where does the GGG get all its money?
Oh, around. There are still some sober-minded folk who think America's worth saving. Particularly a little old man in Texas who just happens to like our style.
Well, he's really gonna like us when we start doing stuff.
We're already doing stuff.
Oh, I know that, but I mean real stuff, stuff with a bang. Like, this.
What? Give me that, you idiot! Will you ever understand our new image?
Oh, but you said we were still gonna do bombings even with the new image.
Yes, but not now, not yet.
When?
I'll tell you when.
And I'm gonna be ready.
I'm sure you will be.
All I wanted to do was teach this TV station a lesson.
TV station?
Man, ain't you seen ruts? I mean, all these white folks go over there and take all them niggers out of that godforsaken jungle, bring them over here, teach them Christianity. Make them Christians. It's lazy, but Christians, right? And then this root show comes on and makes heroes out of all the slaves. Now that is dangerous filth to put into people's minds.
Texas. Just get the robes and the candles and the skulls. Forget roots. Forget bombs.
Oh.
Shut up! Maybe we'll blow up the station during rerun time.
See, here's how it is, Mary. Ever since my little bout with amnesia, which still remains a dark mystery in my mind, I've turned my back temporarily on superstardom so I could devote my entire sweet life to precious, adorable Charlie, who is the true center of my universe. Yeah,
So that's nice.
Except for one thing, Mary. Charlie's never around.
There's always a catch, isn't there? I learned that quickly.
Mary, he is spending more time with his new little friend Mac than he is with me. Mary, do you think that Charlie doesn't love me anymore?
Oh, Loretta, don't even think that.
I know it sounds crazy, Mary, but I'm jealous.
Oh, God. This reminds me so much of Gordon and Vera and Lucy on the edge of madness. Gordon doesn't love Lucy anymore. So let me ask you a question. You think that Mac is alienating Charlie's affections?
I'm losing my husband to a 240-pound truck driver.
What if we found a girl for Mac? And what if he spent all the time with the girl, then Charlie would have to go back with you?
Mary, I don't want Charlie to have to come back to me. I want him to want me, Mary, more than anything in the whole entire galaxy. Mary, I want to be on his mind every minute of the day and the night. I want to be the first thing he thinks of, his reason for getting up in the morning. Mary, I want to be his life. Is that too much for a wolf to ask?
Well, I don't think so. But you know, Loretta, you see, the thing is, there is a thing that men have. It's like when they're best friends and they love each other and they spend time together. It is like a whole different world that we don't know about. It's a lot of hitting and hurting. It's that kind of fun. It's a different thing. But you and I, we also have our own world. I mean, we talk about things that we don't discuss with Tom and Charlie. You may be more than me, but nevertheless, it's done. I mean, there is a different kind of love that exists. No, scratch all that. I'm wrong.
Oh, Mary, I feel so guilty and unchristian-like because I spend so many hours a day you would not believe trying to think up ways to break up Charlie and Mac.
Oh, no, Loretta, don't break them up. Not if they love each other. What we have to do is we just have to find a way to get Mac involved in a man-woman situation where he's loving there.
You really think it'd do him good?
Yeah.
Well, then let's do it. Let's do it. That's a good idea. That's real good. Who would we get?
I don't know. Can you think of anybody?
Well, now you're taken.
Yeah, I am.
Kathy.
Living with someone and a very bad insurance risk.
Pat Gimble?
She just got out of a very bad relationship.
Let's see. Maya Linsky?
Loretta, in jail in Uganda.
Well, gosh, Mary, now let's see. There has to be somewheres in Fernwood an unattached female running around loose.
Lila, the Jeter's maid. She's a perfect match for Mac.
But, Mary, do they know each other?
It doesn't matter. We will call them up. We will tell each of them everything they could possibly want to know about the other. And by the time they meet each other, Loretta, they will feel Mac and Lila as though they have known each other for their entire lives.
That is a fabulous idea, Mary. That's great.
How come it's never this easy to cheer me up?
Here you are, sir.
Well, that's not bad, but you forgot the cherry again.
Oh, how about an olive? We're fresh out of cherry, sir.
No, I'll take it straight. I'll take it straight.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, listen, Martha, you got to remember. Now, you're going to be making Irish coffees, Singapore slings, Black Russians, Wild Jamaicans, Bloody Marys.
Oh, George, I'm just working in the Capri Lounge, not the United Nations.
Yeah.
Oh, if I don't hurry, I'm going to be late.
All right, listen, you better take this recipe book, though, with you. Now, in case you get confused, just look it up, you know?
Okay. I'll keep it under the bar.
All right, Mary.
Hi, Pop. Oh, hi, Mary.
You two, haven't become common drunks, have you?
No, but I think I'd like to.
Have you, Ma?
Oh, Mary, this is my first day at the Capri Lounge.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Oh. Well, that's exciting.
Oh, and I am so excited too. I'll be so busy, making mistakes that I won't be able to worry about Kathy's little baby.
Ma, I was looking for Tom's basketball trophy because I needed it for something, and I just thought that I might have loaned it to you.
Oh, well, not that I remember.
Mary, if you're going wacky-ding-hoy now, why would your mother want to borrow Tom's trophy?
Ma, why would you want to borrow Tom's trophy?
Well, I can't think of one single reason. Well, I've got to go get my coat.
Pa,
Yeah?
brace yourself.
Why, what's the matter?
We better sit down. It's a family problem.
What family problem?
Ma's a kleptomaniac.
What?
Now, if I were you, I wouldn't hold it against her. She's a very lonely woman.
Wait a minute. Are you implying that my wife steals things?
Oh, no, I didn't say she steals them. I said she takes them.
Well, what the hell's the difference?
Well, how can you ask such a question? Stealing is against the law.
And kleptomania?
Well, it's against the law, too, but you feel very sorry for the person because they're very sick.
No,
They're not just greedy, they're just sick.
Mary. I know Martha for many, many years. North, east, south, west, upside down, inside out. And I'll tell you one thing about Martha. No wife of mine is a kleptomaniac.
Well, Pa, I would bet you that if you checked any respectable psychiatric journal, you would find that a woman who has lost her job in a hospital and then lost her grandson in a laundromat could very easily turn to kleptomania as the only answer. Now, it sounds only natural to me, but I know I'm not an authority.
Oh, now you're implying that my wife is nuts. Now that I'm not going to buy.
Not nuts, just that she'd steal the chair out from under you if she could. There is a difference. One is a sickness. She can't help it.
Well, alrighty.
Ma, where'd you get that coat? I never saw that before.
Why, I've had this coat for 10 years. You and Tom gave it to me.
Oh.
George, if you're going to drive me to work, we'd better go. I'm going to be late.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, Martha. You say goodbye to Mary.
All right. I'll see you later, Mary.
Nothing wrong with my wife. Okay, Mary, let's go. Off to the Capri.
Maybe I better steal everything back. No. Someone in this family has to go straight.
Well, Mary, do you really think Lila and Mac's gonna hit it off?
I'm telling you, Loretta, this is the best thing that has ever happened to either of them. And anyway, we've talked to each of them, and we have told them every possible thing they could ever want to know about each other, right?
Still, Mary, I just don't know about this. I mean, my stomach's just feeling all creepy and crawly and everything. But Mary, what if it don't work out? Right, okay, fine. I'll call you and let you know what happens. Okay, right, thanks.
Hi, Loretta. Could I get you anything?
Oh, anything, Miss Shumway, you want, as long as it don't have any liquor snuck in it.
One vodka and tonic. Hold the vodka.
That sounds good. I'll tell you, you're really catching on to this bartending stuff, ain't you?
Oh, Loretta, I just love that. It does have its drawbacks, though. You know, there were two guys in here just before you came in, and they got very fresh with me.
Oh, really?
They wanted to pick me up.
Oh.
And I let them. I got in their way, and they picked me up and carried me to the other side of the room, tray and all.
Good gosh.
Well, I better get back to my work. You know, it keeps my mind off of, myself, my miseries, my depression, and all that kind of thing. Da da da, here, honey. Da dee dee dee, da 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 dee dee dee.
Hey, Red Ruth.
Hi, how are you? Hi, baby boy. Hi, Tommy boy. Sit yourselves down there. Just have a good old time. Just
Hey, we do a little bowling later, you know? Boy, it's just great the way you got us all together here, Loretta.
oh well, I'm just pleased and proud to do it. I mean, when you think about it, just how often do we all get a chance to get together like this?
It's not near often enough.
We should do it much, much more often.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Hi, Mrs. Hargis. Hi, everybody.
Now listen, y'all, I'd like to introduce you to my very newest friend, Lila.
Lila.
Lila. This is Lila. And Lila, I'd like for you to meet Mac and the boys. Why don't you join us at our table? Let's see. Could y'all just get up for a minute? This is a real good spot
we'll
right
get
over here. If y'all could just get up for 1 second. Just get right in right over there.
Wait a minute.
Hey, go ahead, Lila. Yes.
Sit in there, be all right.
Nice to see you.
Oh, great. Come on, everybody just get in, just pile back. Now you get over there, and then I'll sit here, and then everybody just pile right in there.
Yeah.
This is nice. Y'all, you know what I noticed just then? Well, look how attractive these two people look together. Very attractive, don't they? Just look. I just noticed it right off the bat. Didn't you notice it, Charlie?
I noticed I lost my seat.
You get her, Charlie. You're right.
Hey, what do you say we bowl a couple of frames, okay, fellas?
Oh, that's
right.
Yeah, let me have it. Excuse me there, Loretta. Oh,
All right.
goodness.
Good to meet you.
Well,
I'm gonna get you guys this time.
Come on.
oh gosh, why don't we just, this is so nice. Let's just take advantage of it and, kind of get together. Now, didn't I tell you two would hit it off and just look at you?
Yeah.
Mrs. Hartman told me a lot about you.
Yeah? Old Red Roo here told me all about you, too.
I did. I sure did.
I guess we know just about all there is to know about each other.
No, you don't either. You don't. No, because, see, the truth of the matter is I didn't know that much about you because I don't even hardly know you that well, so there wasn't all that much I could tell him. And so actually there is huge territories and fields of places that y'all could explore and talk about. So just chat away.
So what do you want to know about me?
Nothing. Oh, but there is one thing.
Yeah, what's that?
Who's that good-looking guy over there?
That's just old Texas.
Oh, hon, I know him, and he's not your taste.
Those school board meetings can be such a bore.
You know that I've always found them such.
Do you have the key?
Don't you?
No. I don't
Let
think.
me see if I think I do.
Well, what was that all about?
Just my way of, I don't know, kind of thanking you for being yourself.
Oh, Merle.
You know, I don't know, there's something about them boring meetings and being with those boring people and everything. Every time we go there, I kind of start thinking about you and me coming back here and being alone and everything, quiet and nice. And it makes the whole kind of whole kind of thing kind of more inviting. Do you know what I mean? That's,
Thanks, honey.
you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, sure does.
Let me get this right real quick.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, what the hell is going on here, Lila?
Lila, what are you doing?
Well, I've already done it. I've moved in, Wanda.
You what?
Isn't it a neat idea? Oh, well, I'll still be the maid. But now I'll be available for nighttime duty. Neat, huh?
How about, ridiculous? This is ridiculous, Lila.
Why, Mr. Mayor? You both love me. I mean, wouldn't it be nice having me around?
Yeah, of course we both love you, dear. But see, there really just isn't enough room here for three of us to live comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about little old me. I'll just sleep on the couch or, well, wherever. Listen, it's a neat idea, and it's going to be fun. I got some other stuff I got to get in the bedroom. I'll be right back.
You want to stand away from the door there?
Yeah.
Let me just close the door here.
Okay.
Just...
Merle, please.
Oh, that's terrific, Wanda. I mean, this is a fine kettle of fish you got us into this time.
Merle, look, I didn't ask her to move
No,
in,
wait a minute,
right?
wait a minute. You're the reason she's got us over a barrel like this. You're also the one that's supposed to have all that political know-how. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you something. And how can you be so dumb as to write down in your own diary that you had intimate relationships, that you had carnal knowledge of our maid?
Yeah,
Of our maid.
I know, but see,
Dumb.
I don't have knowledge of her anymore, Merle, right? I mean, you can count on me for that.
Wanda, look, that don't cut it. I mean, we are still in the soup here. My whole political future is in the hands of that boob dummy in there.
I have some really groovy records.
That's what we need. We need a little music now. Perfect. Robert Redford up there.
It's all right.
My favorite. My all-time favorite. Lila, honey.
Didn't you like that song?
Lila, you know I like you very much, don't you? I mean, you know that, don't you?
Well, sometimes just lately I haven't been sure.
No, you know, and you can't say that. You know that's not true, because I want you to know that lately you've been so much in my thoughts. I mean, so much, I can't even tell you.
Well, that's so nice to hear. Especially coming from the mayor.
Right. Okay. Well, let me ask you something, Lila. Could you just give me some idea of what you're trying to pull here? I mean, could you give me ballpark? How far are you going to go with this thing? Just neighborhood time.
Well, I guess I don't really know yet, you know? Sky's the limit. Oh, but don't worry.
Don't worry.
You see, because I'm a nice person. I wouldn't take advantage of you.
And away we go. And here we start with Tex and Vernon Bales reminding us exactly how horrible they are and exactly how bigoted, racist, and white supremacist their goals are. Tex is intent on bombing the TV station because they are playing Roots. Now, I personally haven't seen Roots when it came out on television. It was perhaps a bit above my pay grade. I was 6 at the time. I haven't read the actual book, but I have read about it in other stories of Black history. And it seems like an important story. So maybe when Tex, this villainous character, downplays it, it is a call to action to watch this thing. So I will find a link to Roots, whatever I can, on YouTube. Perhaps it will just be a trailer, and I will put it right here. And this will be extra credit homework to just find a way to watch Roots. I won't be reacting to it. That's not appropriate for me. But I should watch it. That's something that I will try to do. Vernon Bales is accepting of violence, except that it should go on the back burner while they are raising their membership numbers. There's money coming into the group from specific individual bigoted donors, and I guess I don't know what that's going to mean for our three friends, Tom, Charlie, and speaking of Mac, Loretta vents to Mary about all of the time that she is not getting with Charlie because he's spending so much time with Mac. Now, in previous episodes, I feel like I have defended Loretta in terms of getting some of the important time with Charlie. In this scene, just the way she described it as wanting to be the only thing that Charlie thought about, that's a bit much. I'm not down with that. But if you want to help Charlie carve out pieces of time that are good for you, that seems more appropriate to me. However, that's my modern day point of view. And in this case and on this show, Mary comes up with the idea of setting up Lila with Mac. And that's uncomfortable. And we'll see that soon. And then we go next door to the Shumways with Martha getting ready for her first day on the job at the Capri, although yesterday's episode showed her apparently working at the Capri. Perhaps it was just a day of training, but this episode is clearly the correct date, so things just get a little confused in the writer's room sometimes. And Mary mentions Tom's basketball trophy, which very clearly touches something in Martha. She knows exactly what she did with that thing, but is not willing to admit it. And she gets out of the room, and that's when Mary and George have their talk. And George, he doesn't blow up, but he throws away the suggestion that Martha could be having some kind of coping mechanism. George wants his wife to be normal. He imagines his wife is completely normal, and in 1950s speak, which is their generation, normal is just conforming to some fake image of what a person should be. So he is in complete denial. He doesn't have any verification other than Mary's word. Mary could have pulled that bag out of the cabinet, but I guess there wasn't time, and it's time to take Martha to work. And then at work at the Capri Lounge, Martha and Loretta have a tiny exchange, and we get to see a little bit of Martha's life there. We know that Loretta is there to introduce Mac to Lila, and of course, it's a pile of men in a booth and Loretta, and then when Lila shows up, she arranges things so that Mac and Lila sit next to each other, and it is more than awkward. There's completely nothing in common between these two characters other than that there's an available woman. Like in that previous scene, they went through most of the supporting female characters that recurred on this show. And of course, the only person that Lila considered was the other person with murderous intent. Lila seems to dig him at least a little bit. Although that's not what we see in the next scene, because Lila is moving in with the Jeters, who are very uncomfortable with what's going on. I would be too if someone just moved all their junk into my apartment. That wouldn't be good. And Merle is angry with Wanda because Wanda's diary is what gives Lila power over them. And it seems like Lila is running roughshod over the Jeter household. It is just beyond acceptable. So everyone, that is our Tuesday episode of Mary Hartman this week. Thank you for leaving your thoughts and feelings in the comments, the good ones especially. Thank you for watching with me. Thank you for getting real. And we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.